recording back up. So yeah, you guys having all of us discussed how Biddy with Eorlax had smoked in high school to try to look cool despite being physically incapable of smoking due to
And
biology.
only you like impressing other Genosians, right? Like,
Yeah, that's when I learned how to manipulate people's minds. Because frankly, I wasn't fooling anybody apart from the Force, you know.
Yeah, Biddy, you have these memories of like attending a school. Um, you didn't attend the school, but like it's clear to you. You're like, oh, I totally attended school. Like you could remember like specific days and things. Um,
Yeah, it was like
yeah,
Harry Potter, pretty much.
yeah, your brain, like if you like you as Biddy looking through his brain, if you saw the memories, you'd be like, okay, like someone fed him some like Welcome Back, Cotter, Happy Days, Saved by the Bell, Parker Lewis Can't Lose, like, and then they mash them together, and we're like, that was your school experience, and you're like, oh yeah, that must have happened. Like that's like we would recognize it as okay, yeah, that's fake, that's bullshit, that's all just like scripted nonsense. Yeah, but like you're like, no, I had a really interesting uh episodic type high school experience.
Didn't do a lot of homework.
Yeah, you
There's always
aren't able to
something
recall
going on.
anything you learned or a teacher's name or anything, but like you definitely remember antics that you and your friends got into. One of them looked like
For some reason, there was like this audience that was constantly like laughing and applauding at my life. I don't understand why,
yeah,
but that's how it worked.
you remember sharing a kiss with the prom queen and hearing ooh from what sounded like 150 people in your ears, and then it stopped all of a sudden, like almost like a sign stopped.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So, yeah, Biddy's backstory is interesting, his real one, but his fake one is basically like any TV show you saw with like teenagers at high school was going on. He even snuck in a little bit of Secret World of Alex Mack because he remembers a girl that got hit with chemicals.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the one thing that stands out to him that's kind of weird. He's like that girl got hit with like chemicals or something. He's it's almost like it was like shot with a different camera, so it just like that memory feels weird. But yeah, you guys can move the table together and grab some seats, and uh, the droid with the tag that says Betty, that's somehow smoking, can bring you whatever appetizers you would like at traditional starport pricing. So like an appetizer plate that would be like $6.99 at like a strip mall one is $21.99 here.
Hey, look, I got cash to spend. Have all the potato skins you want. I mostly just eat nectar, but you guys eat your carbohydrates or whatever that is your body's process.
Thanks, Eorlax.
Yeah, Eorlax, you don't normally eat food, but you do like nachos, and like it gives you some indigestion to eat like more kind of like the foods that like humans would eat, but like you'll do it sometimes because you like some things, and one of your guilty pleasures is nachos.
He's got a soul, doesn't he?
Indeed. The Force, speaks to me through the nachos. What can I say?
Yeah, nachos are one of the Force's things. When you think about like
That's canon.
just eating nectar, you actually feel kind of yourself like almost like you have an itch under your skin, but it's just like that's like a craving for nachos.
Well, when you think about it, everything is some sort of like facet of the Force manifested, right? Even these nachos.
Exactly. We are all
Man.
nachos, if you think about it.
Especially these nachos. Especially these nachos.
Colonel, I'm gonna need a flavor point from you, and I'm gonna tell you why in a second. I think it'll be worth it.
Okay, I'll grant it. We got a lot of points at the moment. So
yeah. You had heard some of the Jedi you served under in the Clone Wars talk about how the Force is like a dish. It's very of melty nachos. The Force is the cheese that binds everyone together. But you need both spice from the pico de gallo and the salsa, or like a good mole
The
sauce.
spice must flow, as they say.
You need something to balance it. So you need some sour cream. You want kind of a savory kind of thing. So you maybe want some avocado chunks or like some guac to like make it a little thicker and a little more nourishing. And you actually remember this whole discussion about what thing, like, because you don't really get the Force, but like you knew that they talked about it a lot, and so you guys would sometimes ask them questions about it, like, because you're like, oh, maybe I'm feeling something, and frequently it was just gas, but there were Force sensitive clones. Champ is not one of them, as far as we know.
So
But yeah,
Champ's just gonna nod at this whole thing and be like, "Yeah, I've heard them. I've heard people talk
yeah,
about that.
you actually totally get it, and you can kind of like take over the conversation and share this deep wisdom, and everyone's feeling like pretty inspired by this nacho talk. You're also feeling very hungry by this nacho talk, and you're pretty sure you're going to order at least one plate of nachos for the table.
Yeah, for sure. Nachos, some baby back ribs. We're gonna get the whole nine, especially if Eorlax
Okay.
is buying.
A pitcher of margaritas and
Well, you know I'm buying,
choice
yeah,
one
of
something
course.
does. What are you guys drinking? Because that pitcher's for me.
Make that 2 pitchers of margaritas.
Should I be drinking right now?
No.
I'm pretty
You
sure
guys,
you left most of your liver back on the planet.
I mean, yeah, large portions of parts of Chal's anatomy are still in atom-sized pieces scattered all over around their camp. That's true.
You guys know, on any other day, I'd be getting 2 of those pictures for me. But
So one thing
let's
I'm going to
sew my spleen back together first.
So this building here is actually a medical facility where Champ got their critical fixed by Tila to exchange for some information. So it's sort of like a little clinic.
It's like a clinic.
Yeah, you can kind of like stick your arm into like a sleeve cuff or like interact with the computer and tell it what's wrong, and it'll like a little like medical droid will pop out and give you like a quick assessment. And it's sort of like an oxygen bar type thing.
Chal there real quick while we're waiting because nobody else is here. Like maybe Chal be like, actually, let's check out that medical droid, hon.
Okay, yeah. I kind of feel like I need to lay down.
Yeah, I mean, they're just gonna tell you that you're pretty fucked up, but maybe they can give us a price point on a back to tank or something.
Can you guys handle the negotiation while I'm out?
Sure.
All right, that's good. I'll I guess I'll pop my
kind of like someone ahead of you is like got their arm in the sleeve, and it just like the screen just comes up and just says 8 at Chili's. I'm like, we get that a lot.
It just it diagnoses anyone that ate the appetizers at Chili's or had some of their like the swill or the margarita pitcher. It'll say low grade food poisoning on top of whatever you have.
It's right next to it.
Death store.
You know what that is? That is vertical integration right there. Put the clinic right.
Yeah, it gives you a little. Yeah, it's this place is called After Chili's. They give you a free container of basically what the equivalent of Tums is with every like paid check-in. So any medical service, you get a free thing of Tums.
I'll pop into the clinic while people are waiting, I guess.
Well, I'll go with you because you're mostly exploded. So
okay.
I'm assuming that Chal is not locomoting super well by herself.
Yeah. If Mel gets here before they're done with me, feel free to go back and
I'll pop out if I see something.
All right.
But until then, let me make sure you just don't fall down and give yourself an extra concussion.
All right. That's what me and Champ do.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and drag yourselves in there, and the rest of you guys are gonna just sit at a table and wait for Mel. And look at the device you pulled off Clemm.
Yes.
Is that the plan?
Yep. We are examining the device. Do I need to roll for that, or
we'll get to that.
Be a factor?
We will get there in a second. Let's take care of the medical stuff. So we'll do the split screen thing, and we'll cut back to the Chili's.
Is there a star wipe?
There can be. but that's going to give me another point, which will make
There
things
won't
happen.
be, even if you flip a point. We know you don't have PowerPoint loaded.
There would actually, in fact, be a like a clockwise circle wipe. George Lucas used a million of them in the prequels, and it's something I didn't notice when I watched them as a kid, but like as an adult, I rewatched and I was like, why is everything a fucking circle wipe?
Yeah.
It's never just like a good cut
It's never
or
just
like
cut
a nice
properly.
transition.
Yep. He had a toy and he wanted to play
like
with
Batman
it.
episode. Yeah, I mean, like if Fox wants to give me $200 million to make a franchise, I will play with every fucking thing I can do too. But anyway, you stroll in. You don't see any people. The 2-1B droid champ that you saw here when you came with Tila is there. It gives it like sort of scans you as you walk in because they have like a little bio reader, and it notices you were here before. It starts a sales pitch about how it will offer you a very reasonably priced low grade food poisoning treatment for your eating at Chili's.
Champ's gonna wave it off and be like, "Not me, the exploded one," and like gesture to Chal.
Okay. Chal, it's gonna just kind of gesture for you to like stick your arm into like a little cuff.
I do so.
Okay, so you kind of stand up against the wall where there's like this cuff. You stick your arm in at a weird angle. This thing just like slides up and down your arm a couple times. It takes about like 30 seconds. You don't really like it. Like it feels a little warm. Like you can tell like power is flowing through this thing as it does whatever scanning it's doing. And it pops up a thing. It says nerve damage / burn, and it like highlights your leg that's kind of fucked up. Which leg was that?
That would have been my left leg.
Okay, yeah. So it highlights your left leg, pretty much all the areas that are like the worst off, where you're like kind of burned and like you've got some like scorches and like there's a little bit of shrapnel stuck in there. Yes, that is true. Champ does have a loyalty program because of how much his treatment cost last time. He is he on a single visit he went from nobody status to gold status.
Yeah.
For loyalty. So the droid kind of runs through like it pops up as it's talking in very robotic basic. It's walking you through kind of like the services. It's basically saying it'll administer some medication to you and then have you stick your leg in a back to soak for 4 hours.
Oof. Yeah.
And for that treatment, it'll be 3,200 credits.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. That sounds fine. I think I have that much.
Oh, I got plenty of credits.
If you asked Biddy for money, like he could get you like $5,000, and it would be basically like having a stack of hundreds in your hand. Like it wouldn't be that.
I don't even know how much I have. All I know is it's like on a USB drive. It's some sort of Bitcoin. It's probably worth jack shit. So just like take my money, take it away.
Okay.
Yeah. There is cryptocurrency in this universe. 100% of it is a scam, trying to grift people. It's a Ponzi scheme of grift.
I assume all currency in the universe is a scam, quite frankly. So just take my currency. I don't want that shit. I want my wealth in currency.
I kind of yell behind the wall, "Thanks, pal," and we'll stick the credit card in or something. So
okay, Droidy is gonna roll. Fantastic. So it basically the droid basically indicates for you like once the payment goes through a little light the light in its eyes changes from kind of like an orange that seems kind of like a security thing to like a welcoming kind of like light blue, like think the blue sky color. You can tell it is now like in customer service mode. So it explains that it is going to give you a guaranteed treatment. It's sort of like the equivalent of these are herbs that have been used in China for thousands of years, like some hippie crap, and you're like, wait a second, what the? And it shoots you in the leg with like a sort of like the thing that Tila got you with, So as it's saying this, you are objecting, being like, "What the fuck? This is a scam. Give me my money back."
More than herbalism.
And your leg starts feeling better immediately. Like your leg had been kind of either burning or ice cold, depending on how your nerves were treating, and that feeling is subsiding rapidly. You're kind of like the droid pilot basically kind of like gestures you to like a little waiting area while it starts sort of preparing a back to tank for your leg. And while you're sitting there over about 3 minutes, your leg no longer is in horrible pain. If you look down at it, it looks fucking gross. There is what we would probably understand as humans on Earth as like something kind of like a nanobot, like cleaning the injury. It's basically got you with the thing that's like nanobots that are dropping medication to disinfect and cleaning all the debris and stuff out. So it's sort of like the burn, like eating the dead skin or whatever, to get you the healthy stuff. So it's
Right
it's uncomfortable. So you are going to take a strain. But you feel
I'm gonna pass out.
yeah.
Night is over.
You also are now at full wound threshold, so you're now like back to full health. You just feel like crap.
Awesome.
And basically, it's going to have it gesture you up some stairs. Like these things where Chal is currently standing on the thing is like a tank. There's like a little ladder platform thing that goes up. Champ, you recognize this. You basically got the same deal. When you got blown up by a grenade. You're like you kind of
shall remain nameless.
Yeah, Chal kind of like seems a little surprised. Chal, you've only ever seen like full body ones. But like you're like, hey, that actually makes sense. Why fill a full tank when you only need to be able to dunk a leg?
Exactly.
You're actually impressed by how efficient that seems to be.
And Champ's gonna like help Chal up the ladder and stuff because it's hard to maneuver when you're hopping on one fucked up foot.
Yep.
Thanks, buddy. Funny how we keep finding ourselves back here.
Yeah, funny's a word for it. The Champ actually does seem like he's in a great mood. He's he's getting a little bit of pleasure out of the fact that Chal is getting the exact same routine he got, but of course he does still feel bad that his friend got hurt, and it's like he's gonna say, yeah, it's nice to know friends with accounts with cash in it, I guess. I haven't had to pay for either of these tanks that we've gotten lately, so that worked out. Not used to getting bought stuff, you know what I mean?
I mean, I get all my drinks for free, so
Of
can't
course
relate
you
to
do,
that.
honey.
Where did that drop her? Okay.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
And make it metaphorically and literally rain. What can I say? Let's hope we can find a way off this planet, though, because I feel like we're going to be in trouble if I spend too much money.
Yeah. All right, go back with the guys. I think my leg's gonna be stuck in this hole for a few hours, so I should be okay now.
You sure?
Unless you want to hang out with me, that's I'll welcome it. But I don't know if Mel comes and the boys need some help negotiating. I don't know.
Champ's gonna shrug. I don't know, Red.
As the medication and the shot in your leg kind of wears off, and you settle into have your leg kind of feeling like it's in warm pudding. It's a super weird feeling. Chal, you've had to have Bacta for an injury early in your career, and it's weird, but it still weirds you out. Like you were ready for it, but it's still a weird sensation. The Destiny point I flipped. There are TVs for entertainment to pass the time in here. Every one of them is showing Alec June's bizarre xenophobic right-wing
great
nonsense. It's it's nothing but like bizarre allegations that the Emperor is a Hutt, talking about how it's a grand anti-imperial conspiracy that Lauren Hale didn't win the race. It's basically just a bunch of nonsense. Like, think what you would hear on Fox News from Tucker Carlson, but more like Alex
I'd rather
Jones
not.
style. Yeah, but that is what you
Is there a
are
remote?
experiencing.
Is there a
The
remote
droid,
somewhere to turn it off or change the channel?
the droid declines.
You know what? Leave it on. I like it for a laugh.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? Let's call it a show. Let's prank him.
Give me a 2 purple discipline check if you would.
Oh hell yeah! Let me help you out. Let's prank this guy.
You're
Eorlax, I'm pretty sure you and
yeah,
I
Eorlax is
polishing
next
off a
door,
picture
I
of
think.
margaritas.
Yeah, you're next door.
Fair enough.
You don't know that this is going on.
Never mind.
When Eorlax
That's
is drunk,
why
he
I've been
just
going
starts
ham on.
He's just
just
like
starts
flying
opening
around,
doors
like,
to
I'm not
everyone.
how can you like prank Alex Jones? Let's do it.
Yeah, if they like you, that is the thing you can do.
1 success,
Okay,
3
so
Ooh.
so you don't like rage out to the point where you punch a TV to make the nonsense stop because it's really aggressive. Take 2 more strain because it's real fucking obnoxious and it's grating on you. Like, it's just a nonstop gish gallop of absolute bullshit. It's not even like funny. It's just like irritating. Like, you're trying to do like a knowledge fight level of like, oh, I can find stuff to laugh at, and it's just like it's not even like interesting. It's just a wall. It's a cacophony of sound.
Cool. Well, I'm 1 strain away from being KO'd, so.
Okay, let's turn the TV off. And maybe, you know what I'll do? Because Champ's gonna see that, like, Chal's looking a little pale or something. She's got a vein popping out on her forehead. And he's like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna turn this off. And I'm gonna go get you a margarita. How does that sound? I think you earned it, honey. I'll be right back. And if there's a way to turn off the TV, he's gonna do that.
There can be.
I don't want Chal to die of or get knocked out and drown in a bacta tank or something. So sure, I'll flip you on.
Okay, I mean that works. There you can reach the power plug to unplug the one that is blaring at
He's
Chal.
gonna yank the cable out of the wall.
Yeah, we should be able
Okay,
to.
the droid makes an offended sound, but also you can tell like it's offended in a way that says my job is to be annoyed when people try to turn it off. Like think about people working in medical offices that always have it on, where you're like, why the fuck do you have Fox News on at a medical office? Fuck out of here. Like that's the kind of vibe like you get from this droid as much as you can get it from a medical droid.
Okay.
You can tell it is annoyed by the overload of nonsense that it is hearing and having to sort through just to listen to see if there's a legit customer.
Yeah. And
I'm going to say actually just, like, as you do that, like, the drugs are kicking in and I just start to kind of nod off.
I was going to say, roll an unopposed cool check, and this goes for everybody.
Unopposed cool, okay.
Yeah. This is just to recover some strain as part of a post-encounter cooldown.
I got 2 successes.
Did it. Okay, you recovered 2 strain.
I'm gonna have to use somebody else's thing.
Roller. Yeah, you can just find
Yeah.
2 success, 1 advantage.
Cool. For every success you succeed with, you heal a strain.
Cool.
Okay, nice.
So that's just like as sort of like a calm down. You relax a little bit.
Oh. 1 success, 2 advantage, 1 trial. Wow.
You heal 6 strain.
Yay! Wow. That would be all of my strength.
Yeah. You're slamming your margarita pitcher into your face back at the Chili's Express, and you are feeling fantastic. Like you feel like you're ready to take on the whole empire yourself.
Champ's gonna reappear.
Was talking about. He could take on the whole empire himself.
Hey guys, Dax got it.
Dax.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, everybody, eat some Dax. And he just gets instantly vaporized.
as Champ, as you leave the clinic, you hear me kind of like mumble sleep, like chemtrails, turning all the Nemoidians gay.
Chen's
Yeah.
gonna see that you're falling asleep and actually just like stick his jacket behind your head and then head back to the Chili's.
Yeah. Chal, your final thought before you fall asleep is Alec Junes is blaming the globalists, but never says which globalists. So you're like, there's so many inhabited worlds. What the fuck is he talking about? And you're slightly annoyed as you fall asleep.
Dreams.
So meanwhile, while this is going on, this whole thing getting set up takes about a half hour. So you guys are sitting around getting housed. We're gonna need to make some resilience checks depending on how many you're gonna drink.
Real quick, so do you want to log out and back in? You're starting to cut off again.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that real quick.
Apparently, Snekgo needs to, well, he drank a whole pitcher by himself, so whatever that equates to.
Yeah, he's feeling good, but he's also gonna need to make a resilience check just to see if he's a little fucked up. Do 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 do.
I did see the Kaifer DC'd briefly. Are you back? Are you?
I think his power might have gone out again.
Yeah.
Question mark.
He's still in everything, but there was a pop-up in the chat that said he
Yeah.
DC'd. There he went. Okay.
Yeah, he dropped from there, and he's back. At least in Discord.
Kaifer, if you're chatting, we can't hear you yet. God damn it.
Okay.
Oh my god. I forgot you had that, even though you just used it an hour ago.
Which one of us is stoned again? Okay, maybe he'll hear us now.
Well, should we just kind of proceed slowly while Kaifer is trying to get back in?
Yeah. He might just need to relaunch Discord or something. I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, so the whole thing at the clinic has taken, about 25 minutes. So there's time to have multiple pitchers because there's so few customers. There's basically no wait for as much booze as you guys want to buy. The guy in the one guy in the corner, sitting drinking sadly by himself. He is just kind of still slowly nursing beers at like it's not a fast pace, but he's drinking pretty steadily. But it's swill, so it's like a 1.5%. He's basically drinking like, I don't know, think Bud Light meets O'Doul's. Like, it's real light. It's not very good. How much was Biddy? How much were you drinking? Were you getting housed?
I'm kind of keeping up with the crew, so to speak.
Okay, give me a 2 purple resilience and add a black because it's not. It's been a little while since they've cleaned some of the equipment.
Good. Yeah. 2 purple resilience.
Yep, 2 purple and a black.
1 failure, 2 threats.
Ooh.
Ugh.
Okay.
Is Eorlax under the table already?
I've been
You
drinking
know,
too
he-
much nectar or whatever this shit is. It tastes like margaritas. Ooh, goodness.
Yeah. So you're getting more house than you're planning. So you're kind of you're like you think you're okay, but you're kind of a little messed up. So any potential knowledge or perception stuff, you're gonna have upgraded difficulty on. Internet seems to have shit the bed. Oh, that's not good.
Oh, bummer.
I mean, we can stall. That's fine. We've done it before. I will stall.
We're really good at that.
Yeah, I can share random in-universe flavor stuff with you guys.
Yeah, what's on
Chip,
the TV in the Chili's? What
it
news?
is
What news is showing?
it is still showing race highlights, but it's weirdly not showing like the people partying anymore. Like before, you had seen like the live like at the Super Bowl type party, where it shows like the patios with like people loading like up on booze and like wings and like like all the stuff you would associate with like Super Bowl meets NASCAR, but kind of like more swoop racing, so a little dirtier. Um, but like it doesn't show the parties anymore. Um, and it seems like it's unusual that they wouldn't even like still have those shots from like the race of the crowd. Like it seems weird. You're like you're not sure what that's about. Like if or like maybe like there could be you had some Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction on TV and the censors are like just pulled that footage. Like not really sure. It's uncommon, um, and
And we also noticed that like all the festivities had died down in the town, right?
yeah, it for
Interesting.
considering it should be closer to like like a tailgating like NASCAR race like party atmosphere. It feels more like a late night in a city that's gone to sleep. So it's unusual. Uh, when Champ comes rejoins, he'll notice the thing as he's walking.
Yeah, Champ's heading out now because it looks like Chal's gonna sleep through her back to session, so he's heading back.
Yeah. Yeah. So, if you guys are going to take some time and look at the device you recovered from Clemm, you can do that. You didn't get a time when you said you were going to meet with Mel. Oh, thank you for the raid. We are we are playing some tabletop Star Wars. Welcome in. So like the phone's still unlocked. It's still got the bio stuck on the screen it's on. So you won't be able to change it, but it's kind of a weird thing. You could like power cycle it and try to get back. I heard audio.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
You're back.
I had to go reset the router.
Mel is not playing with us, but she is a character that the party is actually waiting to meet. Yes, our reader has joined the. He knows the person Mel is based on. Her name is also Mel
Awesome.
because I am a very creative GM. So it'll take most of the time. It's not going to require a check. It's sort of like writing like transcribing something between two notebooks to sort of like cross reference what you see on Clemm's phone, the location dots and stuff, with like your devices where you can actually like zoom in and stuff.
Okay.
Um, so um, Eorlax, you and Snekgo would totally be able to just like, oh yeah, we can pull up maps side by side.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So you've now sort of like overlaid like a map of like the cities and population centers on the planet with the dots. You recognize one place as being in the city. It's sort of near an industrial section. Biddy is housed and does not remember why it's sort of familiar. Um,
Of course.
but it is not. It is a couple of blocks, like about 7-8 blocks from where you guys recovered Free Guy's barbecue droid.
Okay.
So you think it's either like a warehouse or like an industrial building of some kind. Like Mr. Kaifer, think of like the like Seattle sort of like Soto area. Like that's kind of the vibe of this part of town.
Okay.
So that's the closest dot. That would be like the closest dot to you. It would be, I don't know, a half-hour walk. If you guys, I don't remember where you left your speeder. It might be back at the starport when you guys left with Snekgo when you took
I
it
think
over.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like a half-hour walk or about a 10-minute speeder ride. You guys would be a little crammed all in there together because Snekgo's kind of awkward, but like you guys could pile in together for like the trip over to that side of town. You also recognize one of the other dots lining it up with the map. It's back in Pated, the other big city. You're like, well, that town has like the fishing area. It has like residential. You're kind of just like, you're killing time and putting away appetizers and drinks. The total credits will roll to see how much damage you guys do. But you look at it and you recognize it as sort of a shop of sorts. Like when you look it up, who was it that failed the roll and found the flyer for the sales thing back in the barracks?
I think I did.
Okay, so you wouldn't make the connection, but it is in fact the same shop. So,
Okay.
the flyer that Champ saw for a shop that was showing a sales thing for a shop, this dot is on that shop. You guys just don't know that.
Okay.
And then the other location is basically pointing what looks like in the middle of a forest. You have like that has no markings. It'd be like if there was a dot in the middle of the Amazon rainforest. You're like, I don't know what that means.
Okay. That could be anything.
Yeah, you're like, it could be Fern Gully. It could be I'm walking into Avatar, so Fern Gully with taller people. Like you have no idea what kind of Fern Gully you're going into. But that's what you get. So one kind of pointing to like the one closest to you seems to be pointing to like a warehouse or industrial place location. One's pointing to something in kind of like the shopping area of Pated. It's a place called Sib Specialties, and then the place that appears to just be in the middle of nowhere with like forest or swamp. You can't really tell because you guys didn't spring for the premium maps package. But
Mhm.
like you can tell it's basically like there's not even like one of those little like rural towns with like 12 people. Like there seems to be nothing there. You're like, what the fuck? Is this just like a random accidental dot? Like it doesn't seem to line up with anything like because you got time to kill. So you're like what the fuck would be here? Like you don't know anything that would be there. And like going through all like the cultural things, you're like maybe it's a fishing spot. Nope. Maybe it's a hunting reserve. Nope. Like you just find nothing. It seems to be just some land. It's weird, but that's kind of how the wilderness goes. So that's kind of what you guys are able to glean from what was on Clemm's phone. You know that he had sent a message to Tori to flee, the one word,
Oh yeah,
and then
we should probably talk to Tori
um,
at some point.
yeah, you guys could stop by, walk by the open house on your way. If you walked to the dot that you guys found from the map, or if you drive over, you're gonna take the direct route. Basically, it's sort of like, do you take the bypass or you go through the city grid? It take longer.
This is probably me being a little too in the weeds, but Clem was a clone, right?
No, Clemm was a Solistan.
Okay. Sorry. Never mind.
Clem was basically a Solistan. Think like a guy in like Tommy Bahama, like Hawaiian shirts, like Tom Selleck and Magnum PI meets like Bruce Campbell and Burton Otis type. That would have been the impression that Snekgo would have had if he had met Clem.
Right.
Snekgo, did you know Clem?
I'm quite confident I did not.
Okay, that's fine. So you guys kind of roll through that, and you kind of had this little conversation as you're going, and it takes about 20 minutes because Kaifer is doing so good with his recovery. Like, as he gets housed on margaritas, he feels better and better. Biddy is a little inebriated for a while. Champ, as you walk the little bit outside to go into back into the restaurant, you notice one of the official Imperial shuttles coming in and landing very nearby.
Okay. Live, everybody.
Go ahead and give me a 3 purple vigilance with 2 blacks. We're gonna see if you notice something else happening.
Okay.
Because it's a short walk, and your brain is already thinking about rejoining the group. So we'll just see if this is a thing that you notice.
Nope.
Yeah,
One failure, 3 threat.
you definitely just saw the one shuttle. It looked like it was landing it at there's some landing pads at the starport here. The main Imperial base on the planet is a couple miles down the road. Like, you'll see, like, think kind of like the equivalent of Humvees with troops moving around the city periodically. But the base is further away from town. So this is a military craft landing at the closest platform, not necessarily the one you would expect.
Okay.
So you're just like, isn't the base further away? Like, it seems kind of weird, but
It's more of a passing thought that doesn't really land.
Yeah, that's kind of how I would describe that the outcome of the dice roll. You're like, that's weird. It doesn't like, it's just Champ being dismissive. It's like, whatever, fucking weirdos landing wherever the fuck they want. Like, you're just
Right.
kind of like insisting that they're idiots because Champ is feeling very like superior because he didn't die today.
Yeah, exactly. And also he's, distracted thinking about Chal and also Mech, and wondering if Eorlax has already drunk himself under the table before the Imperials arrived. He's worrying about a lot of things.
Okay. So after a few minutes, you guys rejoin together. Everyone but Chal is now inside. You've easily pushed together a couple tables, and you see a familiar person now, looking very proper in uniform, accompanied by a couple of. Don't mind me just trying to copy and paste a couple guys. Good God. The scaling. Sorry. I swear I know how to operate a computer. most of the time.
It's all good.
Yeah, you guys don't need to roll for this. You'll see. You recognize Mel coming in. Because you basically see Champ. You're facing the way out. Rich has actually gotten himself a little oil thing, an oil treatment. It's basically they spray him with like the grease from the fryer. It makes his parts all oiled up nicely. So he will smell like nachos for a little while.
Oh, gross. Like old nacho grease.
It'll be pleasant for a while, and then later on you'll be like, all right, this is fucking kind of gross now. Please like rinse off or something. So she enters with two guys. You recognize them very much as Imperial security officers. This would be like entering with a couple of guys that are sort of like the Imperial intelligence, like NSA. Think like the special, operations types who do all kinds of things that that if you knew what they did, they would be obligated to shoot you type stuff. These guys come
in a curse in Slucian under my breath.
As Mel's approaching, she cusses you out equivalent, or she basically says something like manners, but it's more condescending. It's sort of like the way a parent would scold a child. So as this guy enters, he kind of comes here. This guy that you've just seen with his head down drinking, he looks alarmed, gets up, and leaves. He leaves a stack of credits on the table and just like walks out. Like he seems like he sobered up real fucking quick. And same thing as soon as this Athorian that's been here, kind of like sipping a drink, kind of like he's been basically doing like the equivalent of sitting at a bar, texting, and like occasionally watching the TV. He sees this guy come in and also like throws down some credits and just walks the fuck out. Like he's not going to finish his drink. He's not going to take his food to go. He is just out. Like he doesn't want to fuck with these guys. So these guys disappear out of sight. This guy's also going to kind of wander away. So basically these guys are doing Jam, you recognize this as sort of like like they're sort of securing the area.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure they're doing like a cursory security sweep. Because this isn't military property. They finish their sweep, and she nods, and then they leave. And somehow this fucking droid back here also vanished.
You saw the wall behind the bar.
Yeah, you saw the security guys go over to a panel and touch something to it, and that droid disappeared.
It was like a Murphy bed. It just kind of collapsed into the wall.
It was sort of like imagine an oven going into the floor and then back into the wall. Like you see this block go, and then it closes.
What about the broad?
That droid you have not seen. Like it fucked off the same way the customers did. Like it went into through a hole in the wall and that thing shut and you heard a latch. Like basically these guys did this building we have fuck you security on. Everyone get the fuck out. This is not alarming. It's not like super out of the ordinary, but like you would expect this to be this kind of meeting to be happening in a secure facility if it was something official. But you guys already know that this was I'm asking you because I don't trust the people under me type thing.
Right.
So she's gonna come over and help herself to some of the Margaritaville pitcher, and she pours herself a little glass and throws it back. Well, what'd you find?
First, I want to make sure that our friend's doing all right. Confirmation.
Oh yes. He can help himself a lot here, or he can really hurt himself. you can tell she's trying to be kind of cool, but she seems concerned.
Okay.
She knows
Champ's
who
gonna
he's meeting with, and would not want to piss this person off.
Champ's gonna
She
cross
knows.
his arms and lean back and put his cross his feet on the table, stick his boots on the table, be like, proof of life. That's you know, it's no
She
skin on our back if your head rolls, but we need to know our friend's okay.
She basically pulls out a little like think of the like handheld things that do like the 3D projections of like Sidious like being all evil in the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
You see one of those of Mech, and it's obviously a pre-recorded thing, but he's like, "Look, I'm fine, but I can't talk. I will catch up with you when I can. I'm still the best damn pilot this side of the asteroid." And you can see like a TIE pilot in the background, like like taunting him. Like you can't hear what they're saying, but like they're very clearly mocking him because everyone fucking knows that Mech was the pokey guy,
Right. And
That's
nobody even knows
excellent.
what asteroid Mech is talking about.
There is a specific asteroid, but like your location relative to it is nonsense. Like it's a well, like you know, yeah, it's one of those things where like it's something someone uneducated trying to sound like trying to brag would say. It's like what a stupid person's idea of a smart person is, or a poor person's idea of a rich person.
Oh boy.
It's like I don't know. You kind of get the vibe I'm going for. But anyway, yeah,
It's like
Yeah.
an asteroid. It's like an asteroid-less person's idea of an asteroid, right? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, there is in fact an asteroid that Mel
Exactly,
that
precisely.
Mel knows about it. It was actually one that was like their academy and training recruits would fuck off to like hike it because it was like a weird thing where they could borrow a short term like a short range shuttle and go there, and like it was kind of like a spot where people would go like exploring through like this old abandoned like mining asteroid. Some people said it was haunted. Um, it is a interesting place. There's no one like lives there. It's kind of like an abandoned building that's kind of got like a spooky reputation, but like not scary, but just sort of like hijinks kind of spooky. Like people have like gone exploring there
Hey,
and like
frankly, that's
had
my
part
kind
of
of
the
spooky.
thing
What
cave
can I
on them.
say?
Yeah, Biddy, you would feel right at home. It would remind you very much of being on Geonosis and being back in like kind of the larval pods where everything's like tunnels and kind of like an ant farm.
Yeah, I love being ant farm. You know, it's very homey, very
So
you know, yeah.
the thing clicks off, and she kind of gives you the like a shrug that's basically like take it or leave it. Like you can't talk to him live, kind of thing where you're just kind of like, look, this is the best you're gonna do. But you can tell he's like it. His stubble has grown out just a little bit because it's been by this point about a day since you've seen him in person. So like it seems like time has passed.
Okay. That wasn't a video they made him make like right when they captured him or anything. Like that
Yeah,
probably
I
was
mean,
taken earlier today.
if you were looking to see if there was if he was trying to like blink some secret message or something, you can roll to try to notice that. But like you have gotten the impression in your dealings with her that she is very direct.
Yeah.
Like she's not interested in fucking around. She has things to do and wants to be not interacting with you guys.
Yeah.
So she's a little impatient, slightly condescending, like, I can't believe I have to deal with you people.
Aver, do you have any idea what you have gotten yourself into with this?
She she kind of cocks an eyebrow, more kind of like smug, like, what could you possibly have to tell me? And says, explain.
Champ's gonna grin and be like, Eorlax, you wanna give her the scoop?
Sure, yeah. You can have the scoop. There you go. I'll just like blast her with some information with my force powers. How about that?
Ooh.
Are you going to try to make her feel what you felt?
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to be a discipline at 4 reds.
Ooh.
She is very strong-willed
Spicy.
because she is a very good officer. Like she has upgrades that make her very hard to influence.
Discipline at 4 reds. My goodness.
Could we get any flips to make our roll?
Yeah, I kind of like.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
you can upgrade your die by flipping one back.
I can upgrade it. I see. All right, yeah,
So you can turn a green to a yellow, or if you have all yellow, you can add another green.
No, I'll just go straight yellow here. Come on, dicey. 1 success, 1 advantage, 1 triumph. Hell yeah. Woo.
Okay. So roll some force die. Let's see what she picks up from you.
I'm missing 2 force die here.
Oh, yeah, they may not. When we change back to the
Yeah, no
rectangular
problem.
table. There you go.
Okay. Sorry.
I just made 3. I don't know. I forget how many you said you needed, but it's fine.
Yeah, no 3.
Dice are
free
free
okay,
in this
no.
universe. So it's fine.
It's perfect. I got 2 dark side and 1 light side.
Okay. So she feels what would you like your positive emotion to be?
I guess cooperation, a willingness to work with us, help us out.
Okay, so something kind of like a resolve, or like a something kind of like friendly or open kind of. That's what you're going for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So she's going to feel that, and she's, because of the dark one, she's also going to feel unsettled, because as you're trying to sort of like telepathically link with her to sort of share how you were feeling and what you experienced, you remember how the one that took off its helmet and you saw kind of a clone-looking human face underneath, and then when the helmet went back on, when you guys started fighting, it slithered up its arm. And that freaked you the fuck out because you've never seen anything do that. So it reminded you of a parasite that affected some young Geonosians. It would actually cause pretty serious health effects. It was like number 7 cause of premature death amongst your people. Like, it's a pretty serious thing. Like, it's really unsettling. It'd be like if there was like a nursery rhyme about like I don't know, something really bad that happens in the U.S. that's like the number 7 cause. I don't know, random mass shootings. I don't know. It's not. It's like you feel real uncomfortable and awkward. Is kind of the long and short of it. Like, you're just like, oh. So she's gonna receive that. So she sort of feels cooperative, but is also terrified by this feeling of a slithery thing up her arm, like you saw the helmet do. So she looks concerned and says, "So there was, you said, a machine? What kind of machine was it? You said it looked like a stormtrooper." She kind of like whispers, but also like yells, kind of at the same time, like someone like getting really into it. And she looks concerned, like very concerned.
I mean, Champ's gonna shrug. They probably started out as clones, but calling them clones now, or calling them even humanoids now, would be bit of a stretch.
Calling the, she seems confused.
Their innards were
What
like
do you mean?
almost sort of a carbon fiber, an absolutely unnatural disposition.
And if Eorlax's whole force vision thing was correct, they got launched from space in a bullet directly into the planet and
Yeah,
didn't turn into a blood mist. So
yeah. She seems
that shouldn't
very.
happen.
She seems as interested as she is concerned, which is extremely to both. So she kind of does like the temple rub, like not like someone losing their patience, but like is having a hard time like wrapping her head around all this shit that you're saying. Um,
So you've
so
got some element
you're saying
of the
something
Empire.
is coming from something came from my ship. That's a troop that can launch out of one of the cannons at the surface and doesn't decelerate before it makes impact, and a soldier comes out of that. Is that what you're telling me? She seems kind of incredulous, like she's like, this is a fucking yarn. And you guys all recognize this seems bizarre. Like you're like, this is fucking nonsense. If someone told you this, like, and you didn't see it yourself, you'd be like, that's lunacy. What the fuck?
Yeah, and these soldiers are equipped with top tier rifles. I've got hunks of a destroyed one back at my ship, and we've got some of the carbon fiber innards stuff that I can't make heads or tails of with my mechanic skill. And yeah, so we've encountered that, and whoever's on your ship has potentially more of these things at their beck and call because they wrecked whatever Empire installation they dropped in on.
She seems confused. No, that was a militant's camp. The intelligence was quite clear, and that lines up with what you guys understood.
Okay,
Like
sorry.
Clem was fighting the Empire. She just seems like
Okay.
she's just like no, that's like correcting you kind of snaps her back from the incredulous what's going on to more of a state of concern. Like no, like that's wrong, but obviously you're saying like she still understands that if you said that soldiers came from her ship, slammed into the ground at full speed, and then proceeded to wreck shop, but aren't part of her chain of command, she would be absolutely terrified because she is starting to recognize that she may not have
That's
control of her
about, yeah,
ship.
like
Which
2,500 steps of things
Yeah.
that should have been brought to her attention at some point that weren't. Like, if this whole story is true, there's like a whole underground like
yeah,
system of complicated tech and people who are betraying her happening on her ship. So this
which
isn't good news.
which is why I reiterate what I said when we started this. Baver, do you know what the hell you've gotten yourself into?
She she's going to pull up her data pad. She's got basically like a you would recognize this as sort of like closer to like an EFB than like a cell phone. But it basically is her link to anything on board her ship that she would need access to potentially. Um, she looks really intent as she's scrolling through. She's like navigating furiously. So think about someone like using an iPad like in a frenzy, like they are looking for something real bad. Like think about like they're trying to their car is about to be impounded and they're trying to like find their insurance and stuff and registration to prove it's not stolen. Like they're like she's concerned, but she's scrolling through. She stops on whatever she's on. You guys see her eyes go wide. She can't control what's going on. She looks very concerned. Um, she like you see her go from kind of like a normal color to pale, and she quickly says thank you and turns to leave. You'll be free. You'll be free to leave as soon as you can. And it strikes you weird that she's saying as soon as you can, like she's suggesting get the fuck out. Like she is putting together pieces of information.
Whoa, whoa,
And
whoa!
she is
What about Mech? You gonna release him?
he'll get back to you when he's done with him.
Excuse me?
Who?
Are you telling me that you don't have mech right now?
She kind of like comes back over. Tarkin does.
Do I recognize that name? Like in character. Do I have to roll for that?
Give me a 1 purple core world. Champ, you know who this is. Chal, you also know who this is. Eorlax, you may not. So feel free to roll. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see who knows Grand Moff Tarkin.
Okay, 3 green. 1 sec.
Sorry, what's the roll?
It is a
Horror
1 purple
Worlds.
horror worlds.
Ooh,
Like this
I'm
is
not
a
gonna-
big name. So if you have ever watched a news cycle on anything, you've seen this name or this person.
1 success, 1 advantage.
I've never seen a news cycle before, actually.
Okay. Everyone.
What is
did
it?
everyone
What's a news
succeed?
cycle? I never heard the term
So
before.
I've my non-existent snake eyebrows go up.
Okay, yeah, you know who Grand Moff Tarkin is. You know he is basically second to the Emperor. If he has mech, mech is staying where he is until he is released. If he is released, like you know, like you could like try to hold her hostage, and they would just kill mech and be like, "Fuck you," and then this place would get burned to the ground with you inside. Like you don't fuck with Tarkin.
Just for our insolence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, he is the guy that like if he like for example if Chal pissed him off and he remembered Chal's name, her family would be arrested and put in front of a firing squad. That would just be the end of it.
Just out of normal protocol.
Yeah, he would just like Chal would get to watch her family get executed in front of her before she got shot. Like that would be his parting gift. Like he has a cold reputation. Like he is a ruthlessly efficient bureaucrat. He's a master politician. He is someone not to be fucked with. And that is basically, and like when she says that name, you all get that sinking feeling in your stomach of, oh fuck. Like you did not realize how in trouble he was, and now you are like he is up a creek and there's no paddles and he's going over Niagara Falls, except the river is made of fire. At the bottom is spikes and fire, and periodically there will be 50 caliber fire going at the waterfall of fire. Like you were like he is fucked. That is your tactical assessment. He is fucked.
Like for our characters, like it's a fairly safe assumption at this point that Mech's just gonna get killed. Like with this, like it would
if we
be
see him again, it won't be because of anything we do.
right.
Yeah,
like
you guys have no part to play in what happens to him.
yeah.
Basically, he will live or die as Tarkin decides he should. And that's
Great.
That's kind of the short of it. Did you want to tell her about anything else you found? Like the thing you pulled off Clemm, the metal sample you guys that you had recovered. Anything about Tila before she turns and leaves?
I'm not mentioning Tila.
I think we should give her a sample of the metal, just because that might help her track down like more of it. If there's like metal pods of that same material on her ship. But like other than that, I don't want to tell her anything about anything else. Don't want to tell her about the locations and don't want to tell her about Tila.
Okay. Chal, I believe you have the metal sample because you asked for some when she was coming, right?
Yeah, I mean,
would you have given it over, being like, I don't know how long I'm going to be here, but you have this.
Yeah, I think I would have left that with Champ.
Yeah, I guess I could have grabbed it from her when I was leaving, or I could just run and get it again if what's her face will wait one
Yeah.
moment.
I'm certain I would have left it with you.
Okay.
Since
Or
I know I'd missed the meeting.
alternatively, if you had said my colleague next door has a sample, she would say something into like her little comm link to basically be like next door, and those guys would go, and the guys you saw clear this place would go get it from Chal.
Well, I wouldn't want them to go get Chal. Champ would Champ would prefer to not let people know that his friend is in the other room injured.
Yeah. So, but if you handed it off, that's fine. You've got a little sample. It's about the size of like a cell phone. It's pretty small. She's if you show it to her, she's gonna kind of look at it quizzically. What's this?
Bullet chunks. Maybe you could use this to find, I don't know, the secret army on your ship. Champ's gonna just toss it to her.
Okay.
That was some of the
she's
material
gonna catch it.
that was from the
Look it
crater.
up.
This was shrapnel where the containers landed.
She says, I'll have to have the one engineer I trust look at it. She kind of like taps it on like the counter next to her to like see what it's made of, kind of like, think like size it up. Like she recognizes that it's not like, it doesn't appear to be like electronic or anything. It just looks like a piece of metal, but she's gonna whack it just to sort of size it up. And then she's gonna tuck it into a pocket, and she again kind of turns back to you. If you think Mech's gonna live, you can stick around. Otherwise, maybe don't. And then she's just going to turn and leave.
Okay.
And as she's walking out, the little communicator message thing basically gave you a little code thing you can plug into a ship computer to broadcast to like basically get you through the Imperial security on the way out of the system. It's basically like it's basically like getting a visitor pass or like a expedited to let these people leave pass from the captain running the checkpoint.
So we would not be hassled as we depart the system, essentially.
No, if you guys go off world, when you go up, her Star Destroyer will basically ping you and be like, identify yourself and where you're headed, just sort of like as system control. And if you basically just like submit your normal like ship transponder with that, they just stop asking questions and they just let you go.
Okay.
Because basically,
that's what this is.
Yeah, you recognize this as a thing where, you've gone through enough systems to know that if you transmitted that and they still asked you questions, it's basically calling the authority of the captain into question. Because it is essentially saying, I know more than, it's like my job is to know more than the captain, so I'm going to hold you when she says you should
right,
go.
which would be very unlikely to happen.
It would be very bad for their career.
Yeah.
Like I will discuss this with the party, but the smuggler part of my brain is going, I've got a golden ticket. I've got a golden ticket.
Yeah. It will get you out of this system. It doesn't get you. It's not a free pass through every customs, but like you basically see it as a
rock, yeah.
While her ship is sort of running system control, you can transmit it and you will be sent on your way. It's sort of like a.
So Snekgo's like, time to load up.
Yeah, if you wanted to smuggle illegal shit off world and not get hassled about it, that would be the time to do it, because you have a ticket out of system, and that's half the journey.
Pretty much.
Cool. All right, noted.
So she leaves, and is gone. If you guys look out the couple windows, after a few minutes, you notice the bouncer that had vanished sort of reappears. He looks inside to see if you guys are alive. Like he looks,
to see how much mopping he has to do.
Yeah, he looks both relieved and disappointed. Like he was kind of hoping maybe you guys were dead because it would have made his day interesting. but he's also kind of relieved that he doesn't
We're
have to
like
clean
his
up your
best.
bodies.
I mean, you guys are like his best customers.
No, that guy that was drinking for almost 2 days was his best customer.
Touche.
Yeah, that's true. Hang on, I gotta pull out a couple of dice to figure out what your tab's up to. Yeah, Biddy, you have spent 261 credits on all the appetizers and drinks that you guys have wanted.
Oh my god.
Goodness.
You're spending like 40
Hey,
a person,
ain't nothing.
like
That's a
between
rounding
40 and
error
60
on
a
my
person.
wealth at this point.
So you do you can still check the holonet to see what ships are available for sale. You guys could go check out the location in town. I know we've had a couple of interruptions, so if you guys are crunched for time, we can wrap here. If you guys want to go through and see where this goes, we can do that and then stop. Whatever makes sense. I just want to be respectful of everybody's time.
I know we didn't get a ton done today, but I am starting to get tired.
It feels like a good stopping point, I think.
Yeah.
I've got notes on like
Yeah.
what we wanted to kick off with for the next one, like all of our locations and stuff. So I think next time we'll be able to just like jump right into it. I don't expect we'll be leaving this planet without mech, so that'll give us some time also to like figure out what to do with the ships and whatnot.
Like
Yeah, you guys do have a couple of hours to kill for while Chal's leg is basically getting backed it up and she's kind of just sitting there snoozing.
Yeah.
I figured that'll give us a chance to sort of like out of character talk about what we want to do, and then we can sort of role play that at the next session of okay, this is how we're going to decide what direction we're going in and such, and what decisions ship wise we want to move with.
Yep. In the meantime, if you guys would like to do the actual like take a long rest and heal up with with stim packs and stuff, and then go to sleep, there you can go crash back at the ship if you want. Chal's going to be snoozing it out for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, Champ's not gonna leave her to herself like in town by herself, but we definitely should rest so that we can start off fresh for the next round of who
Yeah.
knows what.
Yeah.
Sound like a good call.
There is attached to basically the building over in this neighborhood. There's like a building attached to it that's got basically like think like Japanese like commuter sleeping tube type things. So like you could go crash there for and like rent a little bunk for a couple hours if you just wanted to be really close.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
It's like 5 credits an hour. It's like it's like sleeping in a coffin, but like it can be reasonably comfortable, and you can
I'm
heal.
sure
Like you
Champ
can
slept
stab
in worse places.
It's like
you
being
definitely
back
have.
in a pupa, like one of those, you know. It's fantastic.
All right.
Like a
So
cocoon,
yeah,
you know.
if you guys wanna like crash there for a couple hours and rest after you if you guys want to buy stim packs just to heal yourselves and then go to sleep, go ahead and deduct 150 credits apiece for enough stim packs to heal you.
Okay.
I don't actually want to do the math, so I'm just going to hand wave a number that seems reasonable given what stim packs cost.
Okay. And like, yeah, 15 credits or so for the napping pods.
Yeah. So it'd be like 165 credits.
Okay.
And you guys will be able to heal yourselves up to your normal wound threshold and basically sleep it out for a couple hours and recover your strain by getting a night's rest. By the time Mel left and you guys were sort of like, we should rest, it's like 1:00 in the morning.
Okay, it's fucking late.
Yeah. So as you guys leave, you look around, you see only like 1 or 2 like baggage handler types like driving carts to do like normal operation stuff. You don't see any people out.
Okay.
At least not that like don't appear to be working, doing something. It's like you see the normal blue uniform like security guys browsing around. You see like people moving luggage and stuff, and like you see trucks on the road delivering stuff to like restaurants that'll be opening for breakfast in a couple hours, but like you don't see people walking around. And that's where we'll wrap for this week. So let me just hit the old buttons, stop stream, and